What's up, guys? This is Eric. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and follow button. If you're returning, awesome. Glad to have you back. I'm going to be talking about signs that somebody is actually going to end their life. And I share for educational purposes only. My wife took her life, Brandy Zink, in August 27, 2015. And then my dad took his life August 13, 2017. I lost a wife and a father. They ended themselves. I tried to take my own life about a year later. And I think it's really important to talk about the signs that somebody's getting to this point, because the worst part is hindsight is 2020. And we always look at it back and we're like, man, I could have, I should have, I would have. There's a ton of trauma there. And there are some signs that are there that you could maybe pick up on, possibly have a chance. I didn't know really until really getting sober and looking back and going, wow, these signs were there. And what these signs are is one of them that they are emotionally numb. If you know anybody with depression or anybody who's struggling, they're constantly talking about depression to the point that it's kind of exhausting. I mean, let's admit it. Like, we're like, okay, every time I talk to you, it's the same thing and how bad it is. And why don't you just do something about it? Because, I mean, let's face it, that's where our brain is a little bit. We're all going through our own things. We don't pick up on some of this. But, you know, somebody's constantly talking about depression, constantly talking about struggling, how it's never going to get better. Well, all of a sudden, they don't start sharing about that anymore. And it becomes very superficial with them. And you're like, oh, this is kind of nice. Like when you're going around them, they're not talking this dread and gloom anymore. They're talking to you, and they're more concerned about you than they are about sharing about them. And when you do talk to them, it's very superficial. They're not going to open up. They don't open up anymore. That is one of those huge signs. It's all about you, not about them. And this is something that we really don't pay much attention to. And that's why I think a lot of these signs are overlooked, because they're almost looked at as positives and not as actually the warning signs that they should be. Another sign that somebody is getting to the point of unaliving themselves is that, and I hate the word using unaliving, and I use the word unaliving only because for YouTube and all the social medias out there, I have to. Because for some reason, they don't like the other word. I think the other word is really what it is, and it is committed, because you're committed to the cause. It's not that it's a crime or anything of that sort. You're committed to ending it all. But I will use the word unaliving for educational purposes only, to soothe the masses. And we wonder why there's stigma around this. We wonder why there's stigma around it, because social media doesn't want you to talk about it, doesn't want to share about it. So number two, when it comes to giving away prized possessions, my dad gave away a lot of his prized possessions. Like they're putting together a list of like stuff they're giving away that they wouldn't give away. If you go through the house and they're like telling you, or they have like notes even of who to give things to, that's kind of a sign. I know people who have given away their dogs, and it's not giving away in quite the aspect even sometimes that you might think it is. It might be, hey, I'm going on a vacation and I need you to watch my dog, or I need you to watch my cat, or here's the key to my house. It can also be that. And so if it seems like they're spring cleaning or winter cleaning everything and they're throwing a lot of stuff out, but they're also going on a vacation, or they're not going to be around, or they're asking you to watch something, that is a warning sign, because they're not always just going to give it to you, but they're going to make sure that everything's kind of in order and taken care of before they leave. And so they will give away their prized possessions, and it really actually happens. And you don't pay attention to it. You find it very odd, is what I found. You don't lock in and go, wow, this is a huge warning sign. Another sign that they are, to that point, that they want to end it, is that they aren't talking about ending it anymore. As ironic as it might sound, there's a lot of times when you're struggling with depression and you're kind of more that victimish mentality, in a sense that, I'm just going to end it and everything's better off without me. They're not sharing like that anymore. And you won't ever pick up on that one usually. That they might have been cracking these sarcastic and dark jokes and stuff like this, but they're not doing that anymore. That's a huge sign that somebody's getting more and more ready to do it. Because it's amazing, at least for me, when I tried to take my life, is how I just tried to make sure everyone was pleased, because I just kept running through my head that I was a burden, I was broken, I was damaged, I was invisible, I was unlovable. Like I was the problem. I was so firmly believed that I was the problem. That I was the problem. Another sign that you're going to find that somebody is getting close to ending it, they're not going to talk to you about future plans anymore, but they'll talk to you about your plans. those start talking to you a lot more about how good life's going to be for you and how you're going to have an amazing life and how they're proud of you all of a sudden and how you just really been a good friend for them or a good son or a good daughter. And they're just really proud of you for being here and for everything that you've done and how you're going to have a good life. Those talk about like the future for you. There's not a future for you and them. It's a future for you. And they're all about you, not about them, is a huge sign and a huge warning sign that somebody's about to take it. And I think this last one here is the biggest one, is when it comes to somebody wanting to end their life, they're happy. And as weird as it sounds, I experienced this with my wife and my dad, that they're happy. They didn't change medications. They didn't go to a new doctor. They didn't start therapy. They didn't quit drinking. Like there was no lifestyle changes at all. But they just woke up and were happy. And man, you buy into that. You're like, awesome. You are so happy that they're happy. And I can't believe it. Like you want to just high five them. You're like, dude, what's happening? Oh, I just feel great. And they're just happy. And the worst part is it kind of like solidifies in your brain that, see, nobody cared when I was sad or no one cared when I was struggling. They only care when I'm happy. And so I don't matter. And that's one of the scary and sad parts about that, because I've been there before. And you don't pick up on that. And it's almost like you help solidify it because you were like high-fiving them. You were so happy that they're happy all of a sudden. And whatever they did, whatever changes they did, you're just excited for them. But in reality, they're done. They're happy because they know there's a means to the end of the pain. And again, I share from personal experience because I've been there before. I attempted to take my life. And I'm going to say this, that therapy does help. You're never too broken. You're not unfixable. And if you're telling yourself that, that's you subconsciously self-sabotaging yourself. I've went to therapists that were bad therapists. I've went to therapists that were amazing therapists. You have to find a therapist that you can kind of vibe with. You got to be open with them. There's so much different therapy out there. There's bottom-up therapy. There's talk therapy. There's DBT, CBT. I'm in the middle of EMDR therapy right now. There's tons of different therapy out there. There's tons of different coping skills out there and tools out there. Getting sober can help. I mean, there's so much out there that can help, and you got to fight for it. The worst part is like when we're at that point, we just want it to be easy all of a sudden. Like we're tired of fighting. We're exhausted. We just want it to be easy, and it's not. And you do have to fight for it. But I'm going to say this, like it is worth it. I'm glad I'm still here. If you would have asked me when I was trying to take my life, even afterwards, a little bit after I tried to take my life, like I wasn't happy to be here. But like looking back, if I could have showed myself like where my life is right now, it would have been like, why did I even attempt that? Because my life did get amazingly better. I've been through a lot of therapy. I had to come to a lot of realizations. I had to really learn and grow. I had to take care of the inner child in me. I had to learn about attachment styles. I had to learn how to grieve. I had to learn a lot that I was never taught. And I had to grow. And growth is painful and it hurts and it's long and it's exhausting. But man, it's so worth it because I watched a life that I'm actually happy in. I'm not running anymore. I'm not scared. I don't feel like I'm a burden, like I'm okay by myself. Like I'm not dependent on anyone else. And that's pretty freaking cool. That's the one thing that I really love about it is that I'm not dependent on anyone, that I live this life that I want to live and I can create whatever life I want to. And that's what it's all about. And I think that that's what you have to learn. You have to learn those lessons and you have to learn them your way. But therapy is huge. And I mean, for anybody out there struggling, hit the like and follow button, comment down below. Tell me what worked for you. For me, therapy was a huge one. Telling others I was struggling was huge. Getting on the right meds was huge. There's tons of support out there. And I want you to know that it does get better. Losing a wife and a father sucked. It still sucks. I had to do a lot of therapy to heal from that. If you think that the pain does not transfer, you are BSing yourself, man, because the pain does transfer, dude. And it transfers like tenfold. But it gets better. And I believe in you. So keep fighting. I don't know when it's going to get better, but if you give it all you got, it will. You got this.